There is something most women do not realize about shoes. Unlike your outfit, unlike your jewelry, unlike your bag, your shoes are the one thing people almost always glance at without meaning to. It is instinctive. And in that fraction of a second, before you have said a single word, before anyone has had a chance to take in the rest of what you are wearing, your shoes have already told a story about you. The question is it the story you want to be telling? Today on Golden Ebony Lifestyle, we are talking about 10 shoe mistakes that are quietly aging your look. Not just why they are wrong stylistically, but what they are actually doing to your appearance and what they are communicating about you without your permission. Because after 50, every choice you make is intentional, every detail matters, and your shoes deserve the same level of thought you give to everything else. Stay with me until the very end, because the last mistake on this list is the one almost every woman over 50 is making right now, and it is costing her more than she knows. Let us get into it. Mistake number 1. Clear plastic heels. Here is what clear plastic heels say about you, and I want you to really hear this. They say you chose the idea of an outfit over the reality of one. Because on a screen, on a model in a magazine, clear plastic heels look modern and architectural. In real life, on a mature woman going about her actual day, they tell a different story entirely. Clear plastic fogs from the heat of your foot. It scuffs if you look at it wrong. It does not breathe. After an hour of wear, those heels are showing every line, every pressure point, every contour of your foot pressed against the material. And as the plastic deteriorates, which it does quickly, the shoe starts to look neglected even when it is relatively new. The message it sends is not modern, it is temporary, and you are not a temporary woman. What you wear instead is a pointed toe pump or sling-back heel in leather, suede, velvet, or satin. Muted metallics, champagne, pewter, brushed gold, give you all the glamour without any of the compromise. These materials age beautifully. They look more expensive the longer you have them. That is the energy your shoes should be carrying. Mistake number 2. Flip-flops worn as everyday shoes. What flip-flops say about you when worn outside their rightful context, the beach, the pool, the short walk from your car to your hotel room, is that you did not finish getting dressed. That is the honest truth of it. They say the outfit stopped at the ankle, and whatever happened below that was an afterthought. Beyond the message, there is what they actually do to your appearance. They flatten the foot. They create poor posture because your toes are gripping all day just to keep them on. They shorten the visual line of your leg, and that sound, the slapping against the floor with every step, does not project the quiet, grounded presence of a woman who has arrived. What you wear instead is a structured sandal with real support, a leather slide, a cushioned sandal with wider straps, a small wedge, the open, easy feeling of summer footwear, but with shape and intention behind it. The difference between a woman who planned her look and a woman who grabbed whatever was nearest to the door. Mistake number 3. Bulky boots that swallow your legs. What an overly bulky boot says about you is that comfort was the only consideration. And while comfort absolutely matters, it should never be the only thing your shoes are doing for you. When a boot has too much volume, too much weight, too much construction, it does not just keep your feet warm. It shortens your leg visually. It makes your silhouette look heavy from the knee down. It fights against everything the rest of your outfit is trying to do. The aging effect is significant. A boot that swallows the leg removes the elongation that keeps a mature woman's silhouette looking lifted and proportional. It grounds you in the wrong way. What you wear instead is a boot with structure and shape, a sleek ankle boot with a block heel, a knee-high leather boot that follows the natural line of your calf. Clean lines, minimal hardware, a classic almond toe. 1 to 2 inches of heel height gives you the perfect balance of elegance and comfort, and the visual line of your leg stays long and intentional. Mistake number 4. Worn-out shoes you have been holding on to for too long. This one is the most quietly damaging mistake on this list, because it is the most common and the most overlooked. What worn-out shoes say about you? Shoes where the leather is cracking, the soles are worn completely smooth, the shape has collapsed entirely, is that you stopped paying attention. And that is the last thing a woman of your elegance and intention wants to communicate. Here's the thing about worn-out shoes. They age not just your outfit, but your entire presentation. They suggest that the details stopped mattering at some point. And even if everything else you are wearing is impeccable, those tired shoes pull the eye downward and leave an impression that lingers. Invest in quality, and then protect that investment. Polish your shoes regularly. Store them properly. Take them to a cobbler when the soles need attention. Treat them as part of your signature, because they are. A well-maintained shoe on a woman over 50 says something powerful. It says nothing about her has been neglected, not even the details. Mistake number 5. Athletic running shoes worn outside the gym. What thick-soled, heavily cushioned running shoes say when paired with your everyday outfits is this: she almost got dressed. The top half of the outfit is saying one thing, and the bottom half is saying something entirely different. And that contradiction is what people feel even when they cannot articulate why the look is not quite working. The aging effect here is subtle but real. Heavy athletic shoes add visual weight to the lower body. They interrupt the line of an outfit, and on a mature woman who has clearly put thought into her clothing, they create a jarring disconnect that reads as unfinished rather than casually cool. What you wear instead is a sleek, minimalist sneaker. Clean, low profile, in leather or suede. Soft beige, warm white, dove gray. No oversized soles, no loud branding, nothing that competes with the rest of what you are wearing. The more minimal the sneaker, the more sophisticated it reads. And it can take you almost anywhere without breaking the intention of your outfit. Mistake number 6. Sky-high stilettos you cannot walk in comfortably. What a heel you cannot walk in says about you is actually the opposite of what you intended when you put it on. Instead of projecting confidence and elegance, it projects effort, the careful, measured steps, the slight stiffness, the focus on managing the shoe rather than simply wearing it. People notice, and a woman who is managing her footwear is not the same as a woman who is commanding a room. There is also the aging effect that very high heels have on posture over time and on the way the foot looks in a shoe that is genuinely too high for comfortable movement. Elegance is ease, and ease is only possible when you can actually move in what you are wearing. What you wear instead are walkable heels that still make you feel elevated. A low block heel, a kitten heel, a mid-heel pump at around 2 to 2.5 inches. A block heel with a pointed toe is one of the most elegant, stable, and flattering options available to us. The height still lifts you. The stability lets you move the way a confident woman moves. We have graduated from suffering for style. That season is behind us. Mistake number 7. Overly embellished shoes that are trying too hard. What a heavily embellished shoe. Rhinestones wall to wall, glitter from toe to heel, oversized bows, competing hardware everywhere, says about you is that you did not trust the outfit to speak for itself. Embellishment at that level is a kind of visual shouting, and when your shoes are shouting, nothing else in your look can be heard. The aging effect is ironic but consistent. The more decorated a shoe is, the less expensive it tends to read. It pulls focus to the foot in a way that disrupts the balance of the entire silhouette. And on a mature woman who has spent decades developing a genuine personal style, an overly embellished shoe reads as costume rather than confidence. What you wear instead is a shoe with one refined, intentional detail. A small metallic buckle, a subtle bow in matching suede, a hint of embossed texture, a sculptural heel that earns attention without demanding it. The difference between a shoe that whispers and a shoe that shouts is the difference between style and noise. Mistake number 8. Cheap floppy faux leather ballet flats. What a thin, shapeless faux leather ballet flat says about you after the first few wears, once it has started to crease, scuff, and lose whatever little structure it had, is that the finishing detail of your outfit was not worth investing in. And that single detail, right at the bottom of your entire look, has the power to reframe everything above it. This is the specific aging effect of poor quality flats. They do not just look tired, they make you look tired. It does not matter how beautiful your coat is, how considered your jewelry is, how well your trousers fit. If the shoe at the foundation of the look looks worn and neglected, that is the impression that stays. What you wear instead is a structured leather flat with a pointed toe. The point is important. It extends the visual line of your leg in a way a rounded toe simply does not. Quality leather or suede communicates that you pay attention to every layer of your presentation. And if you want a style that delivers quiet confidence without any effort at all, a good loafer is one of the most powerful shoes a woman over 50 can own. Mistake number 9. Razor-thin, strappy sandals with no support. What those sandals with the razor-thin straps and no arch support say about you by midday, when you are shifting your weight, when you are sitting down at every opportunity, when your face is working hard not to show that your feet are in pain, is that the appearance of the shoe mattered more than how you feel wearing it. And a woman who is uncomfortable cannot fully occupy a room. There is also a specific visual aging effect to thin, strappy sandals that goes unnoticed until you see it. Those tiny straps, especially across a mature foot, often make the foot look wider and more tired than it actually is. They cut across the foot in unflattering places. They draw attention to exactly what you do not want attention drawn to. What you wear instead is a structured sandal that respects your foot. A leather sandal with a low block heel. A minimalist slide with wider straps. A cushioned footbed that still feels good after 2 hours. Earthy tones, tan, ivory, camel, rose gold. A wedge or espadrille with real support. Comfort and elegance are not opposites. In the right shoe, they are exactly the same thing. Mistake number 10. Wearing UGG boots as your main winter shoe. I promised you this one was worth staying for, and here is why. What UGG boots say about you when worn outside the home with your winter wardrobe is not that you are comfortable and practical. What they say is that the outside world received whatever energy was left after the indoor version of you was already taken care of. They are wonderful shoes, genuinely warm, cozy, and exactly right for what they were designed for, which is indoors, on the sofa, not paired with your tailored coat and your beautiful earrings and everything else you put together with such care. The aging effect of Uggs on a mature woman's look is one of the most significant on this list, precisely because it is so complete. They are shapeless, they have no structure, they add bulk at the ankle and the foot, and they clash with anything refined in a way that simply cannot be styled around no matter how hard you try. What you wear instead is a structured winter boot in leather or suede, a slim ankle boot with a block heel, a knee-high style with clean lines, lined for warmth and sleek on the outside. Pair it with wool trousers, a midi skirt and tights, or straight jeans and a long coat. You will look like exactly the kind of woman you are, intentional, sophisticated, and fully present in every detail of how you show up. And I want to hear from you on this one. Drop it in the comments right now. Do you think UGG boots can ever be styled elegantly on a woman over 50, or are they always going to be a house shoe that wandered outside where it does not belong? I am going to read every single one. Your shoes have been telling your story long before you open your mouth. After 50, after everything you have built and everything you have become, that story deserves to be told right. The right shoes do not just complete an outfit. They confirm it. They say, this woman thought about every layer of how she shows up. She did not stop at the waist or the neckline or the earrings. She went all the way down to the ground and made sure that even there, everything was intentional. That is the woman you are. That is the standard you hold yourself to. And your shoes should know that. If this video gave you something to think about today, give it a like. It helps Golden Ebony Lifestyle reach more women who deserve to hear this message. Subscribe if you have not already, and drop a comment below telling me which of these 10 mistakes surprised you the most, and which shoes are you finally saying goodbye to. This is Golden Ebony Lifestyle, where women over 50 are not fading into the background. We are the main event. I will see you in the next one.